It's how do you move that value across? And I think as we look at this central bank digital currency, we don't want to go 10 years back. I think for us in the SADC region, there's a committee that's called a Committee of Central Bank Governance. So you look at it at the policy level. If a CBDC comes into existence in the region, how do we trade? Because ultimately, it's value moving from one part of the continent to another to facilitate trade and economic growth. So that's the end game. It's the same with currency. We're struggling now with remittances. But even as we think about these new payment system rails, we have to think ahead. If 10 years ahead we have all members of SADC or the whole Africa, now we're talking about Pan-African payment and settlement system, issues of interoperability, like Alex has said, is key. So at the policy level, what protocols, what standards will allow these different CBDCs to interconnect? And I think globally at the ITU, which I'm a part of that committee, we're looking at how do we come up with standards, global standards, because value has to move globally. And I think if we have basic standards, basic protocols, whichever CBDC is being developed, regardless of which jurisdiction developing, if the basic standards and protocols are correct, then value can move from one part of the world to another, regardless of how long it will take for the different retail CBDCs, different crossover CBDCs to be developed. But at least you have the basic common standards. We've done it with electricity. If I travel to Europe today, it's the same plan. Yes, it will be different, it will be 110 volts or 220 volts. But if the basic standard is there, you have to consume. The end user, you and me, doesn't really have to worry about those standards. I just want to pay. And I think even as central banks, as we look forward, we have to make it as easy as possible for that value to move from one part of the world to another, with that basic interoperable